From the heart of Johannesburg to Africa and the world, a good evening and welcome to the finalists announcement of the 2017 All Africa Business Leader Awards in partnership with CNBC Africa. I'm Fifi Peters, your host for today, and I'm also proud to announce that I will be your AABLA host for the first time this year. This year, the awards celebrate their 7th anniversary, and it's been an incredible journey across the continent over the past 7 years. So let us take a moment to reflect on the beginnings of AABLA.
Seven years of leadership.
Leadership is about giving people hope, about giving people vision.
7 years of victory.
Nothing gives me as much pride.
What makes a great company?
7 years of recognizing the continent's greatest business minds.
I'm proud of being South African.
And celebrating their bold achievements.
The reward for being an entrepreneur is really the passion that you give.
Now, joining me in studio to reflect on their AABLA experience is Chris Bishop, a 2017 AABLA head judge, and Adrian Gore, founder and CEO of Discovery Limited. Adrian was also the winner of the 2016 AABLA Business Leader of the Year Award and Company of the Year Award in 2016. Gentlemen, good evening and thank you so much for your time. Chris, let me begin with you. Now, the AABLAs are in their 7th year this year. What makes these awards so important?
Well, this is the 4th year I've been involved in a row. I think it's very important, at these difficult times, in these crucial times for business, especially on this continent, I think to award good, solid, credible leadership on this continent, and I think that's what these AABLA awards do. I think every year it gives people a chance to look at how people have made money, look at how they've made success, and look at how they've run their businesses efficiently and credibly, and then say to people, okay, this is what these guys have done. Next year it's going to be you.
And Adrian, as a recipient of the award last year, what did being named Business Leader of the Year mean to you?
It meant a huge amount. I mean, an award of this stature and nature is hugely, how can I say, it's just valuable. It creates a gravitas to what we're doing. It's a wonderful thing. I agree with Chris. I think the kind of need to celebrate success, illustrate it, and show that business is a force for good, and have people aspire to win this award. I think it's a wonderful thing. So for me, I think personally it was fantastic. It was a symbol of the success of our team. But I think in addition, the ability to show South African companies progressing on the continent and being hopefully globally successful, I think is critical.
And Chris, you did mention that we're operating in a tough economy right now, but what did this mean for the nominees this year? How would you rate them?
Well, I think that it makes it even more prestigious in the fact that we've got people here who've come through very tough times. A lot of people are losing jobs, a lot of people are closing down, a lot of people are losing money at this particular time. It's very, very difficult times for business around the world. Not only this continent. And what we've got to take that into consideration as judges. I mean, every time we look for growth in revenue, we look for building, we look for investment, we look for vision for a business and how people operate. But what we've had to do this year is to take into account that a lot of people are not doing so well. And if you're doing well this year in the AABLA Awards of 2017, you're doing very well indeed, because a lot of people are struggling. And I think that that's the time when we need good people, and we need good leaders more than ever in the business world to take people forward and to inspire others to make it through these tough times.
Adrian, Discovery not only, or rather you did not only win Business Leader of the Year last year, Discovery also walked away with Company of the Year. So help us understand exactly what that meant for Discovery and what that could potentially mean for this year's winner.
I think it was amazing, I think, to win both, frankly. For me personally, the two are interrelated. I mean, I'm a function of the team, you know, so it felt really good, and it felt, to me, justifiable if I got the award. Having said that, I think the organization has really proceeded well along a pretty unique business model that is now globally relevant. And I think it illustrates South Africa, I think it illustrates Africa as a place where globally relevant ideas and businesses can be born. So I think our entire team is hugely proud of getting the award. And I'm with Chris again. I think that in difficult times, whoever wins it now illustrates considerable grit and resilience. And I think those are important qualities in building our country.
And for some of the nominees who are wondering what the judges are looking like, can you describe the judging panel for this year?
Yeah, I mean, there's top line people. I mean, we've got Kanyisili Kwayema. She's the chairman of Brand South Africa, and also the interim chair of the board of the SABC. We've got Wiseman and Kulu, professor. Also Grant Thornton, which I like about the whole process. We've got auditors there who go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. I mean, one of the things that we have to be absolutely certain about is that not only are people good, but also they've done things the right way. They've been corporate, they've been credible, there's been no shenanigans along the way. And that's what Grant Thornton, that's what the auditors do on this. They actually go through everybody with a fine-tooth comb. And if there's any question at all or question mark, that's when we'll go on to consider others, because the credibility of this award is paramount. Whoever comes in there, they must not just be people we can look up to, but also people that of credibility, people of sustainability, people who've done the right thing.
And credibility, very key in the current South African climate right now. Some people speak about a crisis in government leadership. Some people speak about a crisis in business leadership. But if we bring it back to Discovery this year, Adrian, Chris did speak about the difficult times. But in terms of the difficulty for Discovery as a company, what would you say your greatest challenge of operating in this environment was this year?
Well, I think, first, I think we're progressing well. So, I mean, we are doing well. Having said that, I mean, there's the stuff Chris speaks about. The economy stuff, people are battling to pay premiums. They're battling with a very difficult environment. So I think the kind of cut and thrust of business is difficult. But the challenge at the moment, I think, is nation building, frankly, for businesses. And I think making society see that we're a force for good. There isn't a crisis in business leadership. Quite the opposite. I think business is incredibly collectively committed to building the country. We've rolled out as business leadership a contract with South Africa about investing in transformation, job creation, communities, stamping out corruption. And we believe very strongly if we can create that as a business, as a business unit, the knock-on effect of that is tremendous. So I think as South African and probably all developing countries, our business challenges are the cut and thrust of normal business, but in addition, there's a massive responsibility to build the country. And I think we will.
You do a lot of work with young people and developing young business leaders. For some of the business leaders who are watching here today, what advice would you give for young businesses who one day also aspire to be an AABLA winner?
I guess, I mean, I think obviously you need to build a business that's relevant and, you know, makes money and is profitable, obviously. But I think in addition, I think purpose and values. I think having a noble purpose is fundamental. I think if you're building a business simply to make money, I think you're not going to scale. I don't think you're going to be sustainable. So having a noble purpose, and I think a positive, optimistic outlook, doesn't mean being naively happy, giggling around. It means having a sense that we can get through this thing, we can make it, we can add value. And if you ask me, those two things, certainly for our team, kind of purpose and optimism and a value-centric approach has got us to, I think, where we are. So I would encourage it very strongly.
And Chris, you recently released your book, Africa's Billionaires, and you've interacted with a number of business leaders on the continent. What would you say was the qualities that made them stand out and achieve what they have in their lifetime?
Well, exactly what Adrian is saying, and he's in the book too. What I'm saying is that, no, but I mean, a lot of people look at the billionaires that we have and they say, wow, these guys, they've got so much, they've done so much. But what they don't take into account is that some of the misery that they went through, some of the struggles they went through, some of the terrible times they went through when they wanted to pack up everything and just go away. And I think that, to me, that's what makes a top-line entrepreneur, somebody who just takes the punches and just keeps going. All of the guys in that book and the lady in that book, I picked them for that reason, the fact that they kept going. And I think that that's what people have to remember when they want to make money, when they want to get on, is it's going to be rough, and you're going to get a bloody nose. And I think that some of the people we've chosen in these finalists illustrate that perfectly, and the fact they've been through tough times, they've been through things, and that's how you make it.
And for people who are looking at the Discovery now, I mean, this multinational global company with operations in most jurisdictions of the world, who don't really understand your struggle and the tough times that you had to endure, Adrian, can you please share some of the difficult times and how you came over them and what quality of leadership it brought out of you?
Look, I think we faced immense challenges, and we do today in everything we do. I think also it's probably not correct to think you see a big successful company, there aren't challenges. There are always issues that you're dealing with, and I'm with Chris. I didn't say you asked me in the earlier question. I think the grit and resilience is a critical issue, and we've been through immense challenges. I must say, luckily we've had a very, very good run. I think the team has been remarkable. So we haven't had, you know, we've never bet the house. We've never done things that I think often small entrepreneurs may be faced with. It's an institutional business, but there are remarkable challenges. And I'm with Chris. It's not just the resilience and grit. It's not seeing them as challenges. It's kind of saying, I've got to get over this thing, you know. And it is very, very tough, but it's a wonderful thing to do.
And Chris, without giving too much away, where are some of the strongest candidates coming from on the continent?
Well, I think that the overall award, we've got some nice ones there. We've got some very strong candidates in the women entrepreneur section this year. Also, we've got a stellar, which I can't say, a stellar person that's the Lifetime Achievement Award, which was absolutely hands down. No questions asked, everyone, because you see, you understand the judges, we're all from different backgrounds, we're all very diverse experiences in life, and we don't often agree on the same things. But the Lifetime Achievement Award, absolutely a no-brainer. So there's a lot of good people coming, and again, you know, what can I say? I think it's a great thing every year that we do, and bring on the AABLA Awards.
And in terms of, if you're a business leader right now and you're thinking global like Discovery and you want to do business across the world, what are the key factors that need to be in place in terms of a personal leadership criteria, Adrian?
First, I think you shouldn't be trying to be global. I think you need to be relevant locally. This is my view. I think if you have a model that is repeatable and scalable, that is applicable, that you really believe can repeat in different markets, then I think you can think that way. I think just thinking globally could expose you to, I think, underrating how big the South African market is. I mean, one of our issues, and it's a great thing, our South African businesses keep growing at an immense rate. So I'm not in favor of kind of a global thinking. I think you have to think about the business model itself. But I do think if you are acting globally, I think there's certain things in different jurisdictions that are very local, and there's other things that you should always repeat wherever you go. The art is knowing the difference between the two. You know, if you're stubborn about the wrong stuff, you will fail, and you need a sense of diversity. I think South Africa and South Africans train us quite well, I think, for diversity, understanding cultures, being tolerant of these things, and it is a great thing to do. But I do think you have to be competitive locally first, and don't underrate the South African market. It's being competitive, in my view.
Thank you to my guests for joining us for this special announcement. I would also like to take this time to acknowledge and thank our judging panel in East and West Africa who have worked tirelessly to bring you our finalists. Now the time has arrived to reveal the All Africa Business Leader finalists for 2017. These finalists have shown outstanding leadership, perseverance and determination. Let's have a look.
The finalists for the 2017 Business Leader of the Year, Southern Africa. Jabulani Mabuza, Chairman, Telkom SA, SOC Limited. Harry Fourie, CEO, Capitec Bank Holdings Limited. Khalid Abdullah, Group CEO, African Equity Empowerment Investments Limited. The finalists for the 2017 Business Leader of the Year, East Africa. Power Maimba, Managing Director, Galana Oil Kenya Limited. Christopher Kirubi, Director, Centum Investment Group. Joshua Nyamweya Oigara, Group CEO, Kenya Commercial Bank. Robert Collymore, CEO, Safaricom Limited. The finalists for the 2017 Business Leader of the Year, West Africa. Abdul Samad Rabiu, Chairman, BUA Group. Herbert Wigwe, CEO, Access Bank. Joseph Agipong, Chairman, Jospong Group of Companies. Ramesh Atani, CEO, ISON Group. The finalists for the 2017 Businesswoman of the Year, Southern Africa. Carol Weaving, Managing Director, Reed Exhibitions Pty Limited. Yolisa Pashe, CEO, Mnet. Joanna Mukoki, Group CEO, Travel with Flair Group. The finalists for the 2017 Businesswoman of the Year, East Africa. Fatma Riani Diwani, Managing Director, Nature Ripe Kilimanjaro Limited. Michelle Ntalami, Founder and Chief Executive Officer, Marini Naturals. Joy Ann Wainaina, CEO, Citibank Kenya. Charity Wanjiku, Chief Operating Officer, Strauss Energy Limited. Frida Ngumi, Co-Founder and Managing Director, Space and Style Limited. The finalists for the 2017 Businesswoman of the Year, West Africa. Ethel Kufi, Founder and CEO, Edel Technology Consulting. Oluwatoyin Soni, CEO, United Capital Group. Patience Akianu, CEO, Barclays Bank Ghana. Temi Giwa Tobison, CEO, Life Bank Nigeria. The finalists for the 2017 Young Business Leader of the Year, Southern Africa. Ladum Matlokolo, Founder, Matlosa by Ladum. Zibusiso Mkwanazi, CEO, Avatar Agency. Knight Ganje, Director, HNG Advertising. Sylvester Chauke, Founder and Chief Architect, DNA Brand Architects. Jenna Mukina Mtumba, Founder and CEO, Little Ashford Preschool. The finalists for the 2017 Young Business Leader of the Year, East Africa. Paul Mwaura Ndichu, CEO, Interswitch East Africa. Jennifer Bash, Co-Founder and CEO, Alaska Tanzania Industries Limited. the finalists for the 2017 Young Business Leader of the Year, West Africa. Aloysius Atta, co-founder and CEO, Farmerline. Narcia Yamama, founder, Verdant Agritech. Obinwane Akeke, chairman and CEO, Invictus Group. Sean Drake, founder, The Wealth Project Holdings. The finalists for the 2017 Company of the Year, Southern Africa. Capitec Bank Holdings Limited. Blue Label Telecoms. Transaction Capital. Telkom SOC Limited. The finalists for the 2017 Company of the Year, East Africa. Chandaria Industries. Vivek Group. The finalists for the 2017 Company of the Year, West Africa. GT Bank. ISON Group. Landmark Africa. Airtel Ghana. The finalists for the 2017 Entrepreneur of the Year, Southern Africa. Tepo Mashoele, CEO, Harith General Partners. Ivan and Lynette Saltzman, founders, Dischem Pharmacies. Margaret Hirsch, co-founder, Hirsch's. The finalists for the 2017 Entrepreneur of the Year, East Africa. Maida Waziri, CEO, IBRA Africa. Wandia Gichuru, co-founder and managing director, Vivo Activewear. Hasnain Nurani, founder and group managing director, Pride Group. Chintan Thacker, group CEO, Vivek Group. The finalists for the 2017 Entrepreneur of the Year, West Africa. Cosmos Maduka, Chairman, Charles Group. Kola Olubodi, CEO, Background Check International. Mustafa Njai, CEO, TAF Africa Homes Limited. Paul Orajika, CEO, Alden Toys Limited.
And there you have the finalists in the 2017 All Africa Business Leaders Awards in partnership with CNBC Africa. You will see more of them as the awards move from East to West and then Southern Africa and onwards to the finale where the All Africa winners will be crowned. A special thank you to our 2017 sponsors, Lancaster University, the IDC in Southern Africa, and our partners, Henley Business School, Grant Thornton Africa Independent, Lagos Business School, and Chandaria School of Business. Thank you for watching tonight's finalist announcements. Good night and see you at the finale.